Even though they had some dookie butt shows like Dora and the more.
Your opinion is now irrelevant officially.
The greatness of old kid shows.
Think of great old kid shows. Y'all already know I think of Beyblade, Bakugan, Pokemon. I think of Danny Phantom. I think of SpongeBob, Dragon Ball Z, golly, what's some more? Avatar: The Last Airbender. God dang, Phineas and Ferb. Oh, Peppa Pig is ass. I just had to make that clear. Max and Ruby. Ooh.
Every day when you're walking down the street.
Chat, y'all not allowed to lay on that man without his consent. Like, what makes y'all think y'all could just lay with him? Don't act like we didn't recognize that was y'all.
Ah, babies. Who doesn't love them? Oh, not me, but that's only because I'm grown now. Yeah, the only time when I liked babies was during the time when I was inside one. Wait. Oh my god!
Wait, hold up. What the fuck?
Wait, that's not what I meant. That sounds crazy. What I meant was when I was a literal baby myself. Like, we've all been inside babies before.
That's not what the fuck he means. No. No, that's not what you mean. That's not what you mean, bro. No one has said, no one has used that in that context. This bro is wild.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. When you're a baby, you don't gotta worry about nothing. Someone's already feeding you, bathing you, strolling you around on the street, cleaning the doodle out your pants. You never have any responsibilities for yourself. Being a baby is the new 80. It's awesome. And since we were babies, when we weren't sleeping or swallowing the nearest lethal object, we were playing with toys or watching the preschool shows our parents put on the TV. You know, they changed it to the children's channels. PBS, TBS, CBS, putting on the shows for us toddlers. Well, my parents didn't really do that. I would just watch whatever my siblings were watching, which was Cartoon Network and Disney Channel 99%.
I used to watch a lot of crime shows with my mom, so I grew up on watching, you know, scandalous activities like sex on the screen. I remember I went to a movie with my grandma one time. I was like 8, and I saw a girl, she was changing, and it showed a third nipple, and I'm sitting here like, what the hell am I watching? Why am I here? Wait, I saw that 69% of y'all have not subbed up yet, so what are y'all doing? Sub up and join the fam.
Percent of the time. And whatever my dad was watching. And he was not watching the most baby-friendly stuff. Like,
I remember a teenage robot. Why is he pointing towards his penis? That's a robot, bro. And she's not as bad as Android 18. Step up your game.
Both me and my dad would fall asleep watching Friday the 13th or something on Showtime. Then at 4 a.m., I'd wake up to Showtime playing straight up Korn on the channel. Not even a scene, like it's just a straight up.
I never had this situation.
And I just stared at it. My balls were still in my stomach, so I ain't feel nothing. But when watching it, I felt like a industry baby, if you catch my drift. In short, I ain't watched that many kids.
I think you should have felt like a victim, because that's exactly what you were. That's victim behavior. Waking up to that on the screen is victim behavior.
But when I did, I was watching what every other baby was watching. While babies nowadays are looking at their Coco Melon, we Gen Ziggers was watching classics. Classics in the making. The children's programming from back in the day of our babyhood.
I never watched
some of the greatest. Educating us kids on valuable lessons. Like,
what's the name of this show? I used to watch this shit all the time. Yo, the nostalgia from this video is gonna hit different.
Go brush your teeth. Or don't be an ass. And I wanted to use the Wayback Machine and reminisce on the very simple times of watching baby shows. Talk on how some of them...
I didn't watch this mid. I don't even remember the name. I just recognized him. This was mid. This was garbage. Get this on my screen.
Great. And how
I hated Arthur too. Was it Arthur? It was that turtle nigga. Whoever was a main character and was a turtle. Franklin? Ooh, I hated Franklin, bro. I hated Franklin with a passion. That show pissed me off. That show pissed me off, bro. Every single time it was on the screen, I wanted to punch my TV, bro.
Or the back door to my nightmare.
Now, and that right there, the little hands shit, bro. I think that was one of my favorite shows growing up. I never knew the name of it, but I was always flicking through channels to find it, bro. I don't know what it was, because I would be watching the hand show, and they'll be like, I remember watching a hand show, and they would be like this, and they're searching for round things like this. Like this is the thing they're doing with their hands, and I was just like, I don't know why I was so captivated.
But I'm gonna save that for the end. I'm gonna start this off with a channel that we're all familiar with, Disney Junior. Now, I'm not gonna show that much footage because Disney sucks, but I remember when this channel became a thing. Like, I was like around 8 years old enough to realize the meaning of my existence, but not old enough to have common sense, so I still needed this educational channels. But honestly, thinking about it right now, I don't think I ever watched a show to be educated before. I for real watched a lot of kids' education shows back then, and I don't think I've learned a single thing from any of them. They were teaching us stuff that we already learned at school. Why the hell I need to repeat it at me? That's why back then I barely watched kids shows that would ask
what is the show name? I definitely did like this.
20 years for you to answer. It ruins my
What was that show? That was like, there was this guy, he wore like a blue suit, he was like a superhero type person, and he would be like, always make sure you go to bed at 8 a.m. He would be so, 8 p.m. He was like, I'm so strong, and the reason why is because like, Funky Town is something town. Lazy Town!
Version of the show. I get less and less attached to the show when they hit me with fourth wall breaks. You ain't supposed to know I'm here. Like, who are you talking to? And after waiting 80 years of them just staring at you, waiting for you to answer, they just assume your answer anyway. So why'd you ask me in the first place? Wasted my time. I had goals as a kid. I had stuff to do. And this
anyone remember Wow Wow Wubsy? Wubsy Wubsy Wow Wow. Ooh!
Show was just wasting my time. Anyway, I forgot Disney Junior. There were a few shows I used to always watch. I remember watching Big Bear in the Big Blue House sometimes. Honestly, this show kind of scared me as a kid because the moon, it reminded me of that molester moon emoji. And that's the most I remember from the show. And I sadly wasn't a Wiggles guy either, but...
Wiggles? What's this?
I heard a bunch of songs from them, and not gonna lie, they're pretty great. I've heard a bunch of songs from them, and after hearing them, I can tell you that this is one of the greatest bands of this generation, of any generation. Every song from them makes you hype and go crazy. They're basically the Beatles if they were good. There was also Special Agent Oso.
Didn't watch this.
Really, the only reason I attempted to watch this show was because Mr. Mosby was playing the wolf on the show, fulfilling my fantasies I had about him, so. But none of those shows were the main shows. The big three of my Disney Junior experience was Handy Manny, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
I always got Handy Mandy mixed with Bob the Builder. I don't know why. I always got those two mixed up because I'll be talking about Handy Mandy, but I'd say Bob the Builder, and I don't understand why I would do that.
Disney Junior experience was Handy Manny, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
He's better than He's definitely better than Bob the Builder.
Dr. Stuffins. She ain't no real doctor. She can't get me my BBL or.
You cannot be carrying that much weaponry into a chapel, bro. That is dangerous. Lord have mercy.
Sophia the First. That show's for Atlanta niggas. We all know the deal with Handy Manny. You know, Mexican dude with talking tools that can fix anything. From a boat to a chair, to your accident, you name it, we fix it. The characters were fun too, you know, there was this guy who was a complete loser. He had no hairline, he lived with his cat. He was always the butt of the joke, never had any bitches. Easily the most relatable character on the show. I also remember them adding this new character. It was a flashlight. He only spoke Minion. I don't remember what language he spoke. But they was adorable. Every time they were on screen, they was just like cute like a minion. Then the main man, Manny himself.
Mandy.
A helpful, handsome guy. He had a girlfriend, at least I think that was his girlfriend. He always had everybody on his back.
I don't remember much of the show. I just remember watching it a lot.
He's just a dandy guy. I like him. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, an automatic classic for the opening and ending.
Now that I think about it, I did not watch Disney that much. I didn't start watching Disney till I was like 12, 13, bro. And it was only for Austin and Ally, Hey Jesse, and Good Luck Charlie, and Dog with the Blog. Those are like the only 4 or 5 shows I watched. Unless Phineas and Ferb too. I think Phineas and Ferb was also on Disney.
Alone, you know that song's M-I-C-K-E-Y M-O-U-S-C.
Was Gravity Falls also Disney?
Yes.
Gravity Falls was in Disney? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
My balls hot, especially that hot dog, hot diggity dog. Look at Goofy go. Do I need to say more? The only thing I remember this show messing up on was when they gave
Gravity Falls was Disney? Oh, okay. Then yeah, it was Gravity Falls too.
Gave Toodles a face and a personality, and now he can talk and he can like communicate with us. I don't want this, man. He don't need to speak, bro. It's weird. Like, look at him. He look creepy. Like, if he could speak the whole time, then why didn't he say anything before? He's plotting something, I know it. And then there was Little Einsteins. I just loved it because I'm a bit of a musician myself, you know. I can play piano, trumpet, the recorder, the triforce of instruments. And since I'm a musical genius, of course this show would appeal to someone like me.
Hop on a track with me, nigga. Hop on a track. How about that, you musical genius? Hop on a track.
Honestly, I don't remember what they did on this show. Like, they had a ship, they were talking instruments.
The Magic School Bus. Woo!
Dang, I think that's all I remember. I just remember loving it as a kid. And that theme song, you know, that old meme. They just don't make it like that no more. But Disney Junior was a great entertainment and education source for children back then, especially me. But it wasn't my favorite. Moving on to a channel that I liked more as a kid, in terms of baby shows, Nick Jr. Nick Jr.
Facts.
I have a lot more memories of as a kid, even though they had some dookie butt shows like Dora and the more.
Your opinion is now irrelevant officially. This nigga called Dora Dookie. No, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut up.
Or Boring Diego, but everything else was pretty good. Wonder Pets was pretty lit.
Wonder Pets. Oh my god, I used to remember the theme song, but I can't remember it no more.
So that turtle can go chug a bottle of piss. I still hate turtles. The Backyardigans. Everybody loved this show. And the animals, Tanisha, Pablo, Bart, Jesse, and James. I don't remember their names, but it was such a fun show, you know? The backyard was always transforming and getting new settings, like every...
Bro, I remember, I still have a movie of this show, and it was a movie, it's like a movie, and they were like in an igloo, like it all happened in like a snowy place. I don't know what the movie was about, bro, but I used to watch that shit a little too much.
Every single episode, I loved it. My favorite episodes were the jungle episode and the western episode. Max and Ruby, I loved it. My favorite episodes were the jungle episode.
Is this kid Beerus, now that we think about it?
Episode and the western episode. Max and Ruby. Now, I got mixed feelings on this. I used to watch this
Ruby was an asshole. I had to grow up to realize how much of an asshole Ruby was. And I saw this TikToker talk about it. If you've seen the TikTok, you know the TikTok. But regardless, yeah, Ruby's asshole.
Show a lot.
Like, I enjoyed the show as a kid, but I didn't really like Max all that much when I was young. I didn't really know any better back then. I just saw him making mud cakes.
You didn't like Max? You didn't like Max?
And I was just like, that's gross, there's worms in it, bro. Why are you making that? It wasn't until I got older that I realized that Max was just having fun, man. He was just a young kid just having fun, playing with his toys, making cakes. He was just doing his thing. The real villain of this show, it was Ruby.
I'm glad you matured. I'm really glad you matured. It's not like Max is crazy.
I'm not gonna get too in detail because then I'll just be stealing this guy's content. Shout out to him. But let me say this.
If I was in a room with a bow and arrow, with only 2 arrows, and there was me, Ruby. No, I don't even care who else is there. I'm gonna shoot Ruby twice. Blues was pretty cool.
Even if Hitler's there, Ruby gots to go. Blue's Clues was my show, bro. I literally wanted a notepad and a crayon just like Blue's Clues because the way they used it was so satisfying to like look at. I don't know what it was. It was just satisfying.
Cool too. You know, I like the cat. I like the box characters. My man Steve was drawing like Picasso with just a crayon. The show was nuts until Steve left to buy some cigarettes. What does the new Steve look like again? Who the fuck is this? Peppa Pig? I didn't really watch it because it was British and
I was more of a Olivia kind of guy.
But I'll admit it, the Peppa Pig album is pretty fire. Like, unironically, it's better.
She has an album? Peppa Pig has an album? What?
Better than honestly trash. And I ain't gonna forget the GOAT. Yo, Gabba Gabba!
Yes, sir!
I didn't really watch it that much, but my brothers loved it, and the characters look nice. Biz Marquee is in like every episode beatboxing, and DJ Lance is so into his character in the show that he's still in his character over 10 years after the show ended.
No, that's crazy. No, that's crazy. He never grew out of his character. He never grew out, and that's insane. Oh, that's crazy, bro.
So that's dedication right there. But yeah, I ain't really watched this show as a kid. The most I got from it was that one episode from South Park where Fufa became a thought. That's the most I got from it.
South Park dissed Yo Gabba Gabba? I'm not gonna lie, that's South Park's first L.
And my personal favorite Nick Jr. show was Little Bill. Now,
how did I forget about my twin? How would I forget about my twin like that?
Ignoring the controversies, this show taught me so many things, like how to talk to girls, how to ask a girl out, and the secret to getting any girl. And thanks to this show, I can say these tips changed my life for the better. Because of these tips, every time I move into a new home, I have to introduce myself to my female.
He has to introduce him and says he's a sex offender. I know where it's going. I know where it's going.
Neighbors, and under state law, I basically had to tell them how good I am with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm the Riz God, all cause of Little Bill. Alright, moving on from that.
Him playing Andrew Tate right there is out of pocket. I'm not gonna lie. Him putting Andrew Tate there right there is out of pocket.
I want to talk about my actual favorite shows from back when I was a kindergartner, and back then, I was a huge fan of Thomas the Tank Engine. I love this show so much. It's just something about him. I was addicted to this show. Like, actually, I owned DVDs, had so many train sets and toys. I even wore Thomas the Tank Engine undies. I was wearing this man on my balls. You can't tell me I'm a fake fan. You can't call me gay either. He's a train. Let him run a train on me. I really do love Thomas the Tank Engine. I consider it a very big part of my babyhood. I think the reason I like
your babyhood was
was cause that it was a very chill show. Nothing would happen in your face. The conflicts would always be in the island of Sodor, with the trains doing the task that Sir Toppin Hat would tell them to do, and then a small hiccup happens and then they solve it, learning a lesson maybe in the process. Simple. It was a very simple, chill show, and I like trains. The interactions were always very sweet, and when they weren't, you know when shit was going down, but they would always make amends at the end. This was a show just trying to tell a simple story each episode. It's not like those other baby shows that would constantly break the fourth wall and just start singing out of nowhere.
Getting tired of you dissing Dora. Like Dora doesn't fucking sweep and neg Thomas the Train in every way possible. Stop it. Fucking Thomas the Train. Don't ever compare Thomas to fucking Dora the Goat like that ever again.
Or asking you, do you know what 5 + 5 is? My favorite color, green. Like, bro, go lick my nut and gargle it, bro. I hate shows like that. Sometimes us kids just want to be entertained like the grown-ups. We don't want to get constantly talked down to in shows. We already get enough of that in real life. Why would we want that in our entertainment? And Thomas did have learning segments where they would ask us kids questions, but it would be in between episodes. Not the actual episode would have it. It would never get in the way of the actual plot of the episode. This is why I kind of liked Arthur as a kid too, because it ain't interrupt you in the middle of the episode with random
Arthur was cool. Arthur was cool. It wasn't nothing crazy, but it was cool.
Questions. We was just enjoying ourselves, learning not to swear, and definitely not wanting to learn how to knit.
No, I'm not a knitter.
Arthur was great. I still don't understand that racism episode though. I thought it was just animals in this universe, but black people exist too apparently, and get unfair treatment from the police. But there was no other racists that were mentioned, so is it the animals that are the ones being racist? Is it just black people and animals in this universe? What does an interracial baby look like? Okay, I'm gonna stop.
That's what mid, I mean, that's why Arthur was mid, like it wasn't completely put together.
Asking questions. Back to Thomas, I also love how the show only has a narrator. Narrating and doing every voice in the show, I loved it. It made the show feel more common and soothing. I even remember when Alec Baldwin was the narrator for season 5. He was great too. You just had to wear a bulletproof vest every time you watched the show. Not to mention the music. It's out of this world. It has no reason.
This nigga is on Thomas the Train's penis, bro. This nigga's on this man's penis, bro. Damn.
To being that great. And it wasn't just a few good ones here and there, you know, a few good bops. No. Every single one. I'm serious too. Every song sounds like it could be one of those classic Disney songs from back in the day. They just are so catchy and so good.
Tom and Jerry Looney Tunes. Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes neg Thomas the Train. Let's go on to the good shows. Where the good ones at?
Good to sing along to. And accidents will happen. One of the greatest songs of all time, Top 100, not even fibbing. Listen to it yourself. It's like in 1984 when the show was created. The music team for this show was like, yo, let's only drop classics for the next 20 years. Like we're Kanye West or something. And the whole team responded, who the hell is Kanye West? But they did it anyway. These guys deserve all the Grammys. And that iconic intro. Nobody has forgotten that. This is genuinely one of the greatest kid shows of all time.
No. 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 Dora's better. Max and Ruby's better. Phineas and Ferb's better. Backyardigans better. Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes better.
The amount of nostalgia and pure bliss and joy I get from this show, oh man, it cannot be matched. This show is amazing. It is fantastic. Or should I say, was. Because as soon as they went CGI,
this looked disgusting. It looked disgusting from the beginning, so. But anyways,
I was appalled when they switched the style. This happened back in 2009 when I was 6 turning 7. Even back then, I hated it. I was all like, why are their mouths moving now? Why are the people moving? Why do they have their own voices? It changed so much. I avoided this new version every time I saw it on TV. I missed it when they were actual toys and it was in reality. This is just weird. It's unnatural seeing them like this. I always hated when kids shows would switch their style just to look more modern. Just look at Bob the Builder. For years he was looking good. He was looking nice because he was in stop motion. Look at Bob go.
Handy Mandy's better than Thomas the Trash.
Woo! Okay, let's see what Bob the Builder looks like now.
Boots check, tool belt check, hard hat check. Bob the Builder.
Who the fuck is this? The way they remade Looney Tunes too, they're reanimating and redrawing so many kid show characters, bro. Like, leave them the same if you're gonna bring them back. Please just leave them the same. Don't touch them.
Who the hell is that? That is definitely not Bob. That dude's name is Bertram. That is not Bob.
Yeah, that's a grown man, bro. He has a grown man body with a baby face.
That is not the same man that I knew from my childhood. This is not my Bob. They doing the same thing with Thomas. It's horrifying. And that ain't even the worst of it. You know the music? How I said it was one of the best songs of all time. You know, it should win all the BET Hip Hop Awards. It's so ass now. Oh my goodness. They changed the whole vibes of the songs, bro. It sounds so terrible, man.
Fun fact. Pokemon next. Like, he didn't even get the Cartoon Network, bro. Cartoon Network has some bangers too.
It used to be a choir of kids singing, and now it's just... Listen to this.
A special day with all your friends. Seems like it will never end.
This is trash.
I didn't think it was that bad.
And the new intro is even worse, man.
You said baby shows? Pokemon isn't... How old were you when you first was introduced to Pokemon? Are we serious? How old were y'all? I mean, I was watching Beyblade, Pokemon, and Bakugan all around the age of 6. I mean, a part of, like, he named Max and Ruby. I was watching Max and Ruby, Pokemon, and Beyblade all at the same time. Like, in the same time period. So...
Listen.
Let's go, go, go on a big world adventure.
This is not Thomas sounding music. This shit sound like Power
Power Rangers! Oh, but there was only 2 Power Rangers I like. I think it was like the Samurai. Oh, I can't remember the other one. There was only 2. I like the Golden Ranger, bro. The little Hispanic dude. He popped out with like the reverse knife, bro. When his intro was crazy, and then they nerfed him. Out the gate, he was the best ranger, but they needed to make sure that the Red Ranger was the strongest one, so they nerfed him, bro. Golden Ranger was going crazy.
I can't believe they massacred Tony like this, bro. This is not the reason why I wore you on my balls, man. This is not the show I used to love and enjoy. Stop trying to appease to these kids and appease to me. A grown-ass man. Appeal to me. They ruined it, man. They ruined it. They really turned Thomas the Tank Engine into that freaking bootleg rip-off Thomas the Tank Engine Chuggington. This is honestly one of the worst.
The way he talking about Thomas the Train, I have a feeling this show truly gave him an erection. Cause golly, it wasn't that good. It was not that good to be this upset over. It wasn't. It was B tier at best. B.
Worst things that ever happened in humanity. And since I'm over here whining about this children's show,
what about Bernstein Bears?
let me talk about one final show real quick. A show that I only remember watching once in my childhood, but that one time alone left a scar that still remains to this day. I was in elementary school, staying up a little late one night, and on a TV it was on Nick Jr. 24/7 baby content playing all the time. And at around midnight, this new show came on. It was called Ubi.
That was
This
my
show was a hand
show.
puppet show.
20 times better than Thomas, bro. 20 times.
Unlike Sesame Street or any other hand puppet show, it was just hands.
Yes.
show gave me so. Alright, I'm gonna cut the bullshit. The show ain't even that scary. I don't even know why I found this show scary as a kid. It's just hand puppets. Maybe it's their creepy eyes. I don't know. But
I don't know how you found these creepy eyes. These eyes creepy, but not Thomas. Thomas looks creepy, not them. These are hands, nigga.
I'm not gonna try to hype it up to be like scary. I'm gonna sound like one of those like SpongeBob Theory channels or whatever. It's also because this show.
Alex. I think he's calling you out, Alex. Alex, I'm not gonna lie, Alex. I think he's calling you out, Alex. Wait, get back, Alex. I want to see the response. I want to see your response video, Alex. He called you out.
It made me raise a lot of questions. Like,
How do they eat? How do they swallow their food? Where does it go? How do they use the bathroom? Do they have holes? How do they fight? How are their eyes attached to their hands? How do they put on rings? When they high-five each other, did they just kiss? Did they just have intercourse on screen? How do they even do it in this universe? And if they do
thinking
it,
all
do they
that.
wear gloves for protection?
You're lying. This was your grown adult thoughts, bro. You weren't thinking that when you were younger. Stop it. Stop it. Because I didn't hear you say nothing about the trains procreating. When the trains can go one direction. How can you procreate while going one direction? I don't want to hear this nonsense.
So, how do they wear the gloves? Wouldn't that just cover their eyes? Where do their bodies end? There's actual people in this universe. What do they see below their hands? How do they drive
That's
cars
valid.
in this universe? What is pushing the gas pedal? How does anything get done in this universe? I didn't like how many questions this show had me asking. That one time I watched this show was a life-changing and threatening experience for me.
Threatening?
And I hope no kid had to experience the nightmares I did because of this show.
Nigga, the only nightmares people got was when they stayed up too late watching Cartoon Network, and then out of nowhere, Robot Chicken came on screen, and you had no clue what the fuck you were watching no more. Robot Chicken was like an introduction to a whole world of madness you'd never experienced.
I've grown a lot since I was a jit. I'm never saying that again. I've grown in hair, length, size, but
Penis?
most importantly, I've grown in mind. And I don't think I would be the person I am today if
Where do you find these clips at? What is your search history?
well, mostly only Thomas and Little Bill, but the rest were here too. If I forgot to mention a show, I just didn't watch it as a kid. That's just the way it turned out for me. I love reminiscing about old times and old childhood memories. It makes me feel less old. And since we're towards the end of the video, I did not expect this video to be as long as it is. But that just shows how dedicated I am to this topic.
No, you were dedicated to Thomas and only Thomas. That's what you were dedicated to. You were on Thomas' meat. You were riding Thomas. Jeez Louise, don't say this topic. It was only Thomas.
In conclusion, free Bill Cosby.
it starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed.
Yo, this is what you're talking about by your musical talent, bro. We definitely need to hop on a track. We could drop a banger. I'm not gonna lie. We could drop something crazy. I'm upset with the amount of shows he missed. I'm upset with the fact that he was on Thomas' meat like that. Like that's not a B tier or C tier show. I'm not gonna lie.